I never really talked to people about what Dangerous Doug felt. Nobody's ever really knew my feelings. I've talked to certain people here and there, but I never really told them how I feel. Some people said, Doug Gilbert, it's been 2 years since you've been in the USWA. What, have you quit wrestling? What are you doing now? Are you not even in the wrestling business? Yeah, I'm still in the wrestling business. But you know what it is? What it boils down to? I think everybody in their life, everybody has a mother, everybody has a father. And one day, I wish it wouldn't happen, but it does. Your mother or your father is going to pass away. We all have tragedies like that in our family, in our life. And you know what? Since the tragedy I had in my life, I think everybody remembers my brother, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. Since he passed away, I've had so much stuff to think about in my head. A lot of times, I didn't know whether I was coming or whether I was going. A lot of times, I showed up at the building. I showed up to wrestle. But it wasn't all Doug Gilbert there. I had so many thoughts in my head. I didn't know what I was thinking. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Some people would say stuff to me, and they'd say, oh, Doug Gilbert, you're a hothead. You don't deserve this. You don't deserve that. You're a hothead. Well, let me tell you one thing. I'm sure most of you people, which I hope you hadn't, but I'm sure you've gone through a tragedy. You don't know how you need to feel. You don't know what a right feeling is. There is no right feeling. But let me tell you, 3 weeks ago I was sitting in Tokyo, Japan. I was in my room. I was laying down. It's 4:30 in the morning. And who called me? Brian Christopher called me. He said, Doug, he said, I've got a problem. I know you've always had a lot of stuff on your mind. I know you've got things you need to think about, but I think it's time that you try to get your head right. I think it's time that you try to put some things behind you and go on with your life. Well, you know what? People tell me a lot. They say, boy, we sure do miss your brother, Doug. We sure do miss Eddie. Well, you know what? I'm glad you people do, but you don't know what missing is until you can feel how my heart feels. You know what? I don't know what I'm going to do a lot of times. And that's why they say, Doug, you might be kind of crazy. You're kind of out there, but we like you, but you're still kind of crazy. Well, let me tell you something. Once Brian Christopher called me, and see what a lot of people don't know, Brian Christopher and my brother, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, my brother, Brian Christopher, patented himself after my brother, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. And we all got along, no matter what anybody thinks. But when Brian called me at 4:30 and he said, Doug, I've got a problem. You know why he called me? He called me because he knew that if I had my head on right and if I could deal with all the other people, I can deal with Brian. It's just the hierarchy I can't deal with because I don't like going by rules. My brother never did, and that's why you people liked him. My brother said he was the USWA, and I've never said that I would ever be able to fill my brother's shoes. But what I'm saying right now, Brian Christopher, you called me. Now I'm going to step up to the plate, and I'm going to put my big boots into what I think my brother would want me to do. Brian Christopher, I come back from Tokyo, Japan for you. I didn't come back just for you. I come back for my brother, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. So when you see me in the USWA, my brother said, was his company. So what I'm doing now, I'm right now proclaiming the USWA is going to be Gilbert country again. And so help me, no matter who I have to walk over or who comes in after Brian Christopher, no matter if it's a WWF, no matter if it's ECW, Sandman, come in, drink your beer. Come in, Tommy Dreamer, saying you can beat everybody. You think you're hardcore. 20 years ago when you didn't know nothing about wrestling, Jerry Lawler was beating everybody's brains out here. Let me tell you, it's going to be a cold day, and it's going to be a cold day in hell, because when Doug Gilbert's back, and I am back, as soon as I come to the arena, it's going to be real cold for the ECW, for the WWF, because the USWA is coming back on top, and I promise you people that.
Whoa. Yeah, we're, thought you might be interested in hearing that from Doug, and we're going to take time out, and we'll be back in just a moment.
I'll get it worked out one way or another. I'll work this out.